She just walk away. How? When they told you that he had her in the headlock, how did he even walk away? Why did they was so easy to walk away? They tell me, look at the video, they bumping fences. I don't know about any of that because I really can't even focus.
To be an RN, now her family is asking, why is the woman who pulled the trigger
box
still
below.
free?
Romeca's cousin writes, Dear State's Attorney O'Neill Burke, I'm writing to urgently request a comprehensive reinvestigation and charge and review of the homicide of Romeca Meeks, who was fatally shot on September 8th, 2025, outside her child's school. The shooter, Holly Johnson, also known as Quadasia Johnson, was released the same day of the homicide after claiming self-defense as a concealed carry license holder.
You ever notice how grief looks different on Facebook than it does at a funeral? How a man can post birthday pictures with his son while the mother's blood is barely dry on Chicago pavement. September 26, 2025. Carlos Lozo's Way breaks his social media silence. 18 days after Romeca Meeks, the mother of his child, was shot 3 times outside their son's school. The timing? Their son's birthday week. The boy just turned 7 without his mother. But before we dive into those posts that have the internet burning up, before we analyze every emoji and comment that's got people calling for justice, let me ask you something. When someone's involved in a murder, whether they pulled the trigger or not, what's the appropriate waiting period before you can hop back on Facebook? A month? 6 months? Never? If you're watching because you believe Romeca deserves justice, because you think something stinks about this whole situation, hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video on every platform you've got. Because what you're about to hear isn't just about one case. It's about how social media has become the new courtroom of public opinion. This is True Crime Unraveled, and we read every single one of your comments. Keep them coming. Also, join our Facebook and TikTok community on True Crime Unraveled TV. Now, let me paint you a picture of September 8th, 2025. 9:06 in the morning. Not 9:30, like some reports claimed. 9:06. Romeca Meeks, 31 years old, certified nursing assistant, working 2 jobs while studying to become an RN. She'd just dropped her son off at school. Wrote him a note for his lunchbox, the kind of thing mothers do when they plan to see their kids at the end of the day. But Romeca never made it to work that morning. Instead, she ended up in an altercation with Quadasia Holly Johnson, though she goes by Holly and Carlos Way. All 3 adults share a complicated history. Carlos has children with both women. Holly had her baby in the car. And according to witness testimony, what happened next was as coordinated as a wrestling match where one person holds and the other swings. The witness on the bus saw it all unfold.
And I saw them when they were fighting in the beginning, and I was like, this is not right. He was slamming her with the door when she was standing in her door frame, not even close to the female on the other side. So she was literally standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was literally slamming the door on her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Her arm was like literally almost getting free with his arm around her neck this time, because he was holding her by the waist in the beginning and she wiggled out, you know. After this happened, he had her in the, like, almost looking like a headlock to me on the side, and then she stated, the other baby mama stated, "I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you, bitch." And he stated, "Oh, she's gonna go get her gun. She's gonna go get her gun. Watch." And after this happened, she ran to the passenger side of her vehicle, grabbed her gun, went around, and when the woman, the mother, you know, who slipped away from him for at least like maybe a good second, as soon as she slipped away, she shot her. And she shot her in the face, on her side, and in her thigh.
Carlos slamming Romeca with her car door, not pushing, not arguing, using the door as a weapon against her back while she stood in her doorframe. Holly made her announcement. Multiple people heard it. I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you, bitch. And what was Carlos's response? She's gonna go get her gun. Watch. He could have prevented it, but he allowed his baby mama to die just like that. Holly ran to her passenger side, retrieved her weapon, and the moment Romeca slipped free from Carlos's grip, not attacking, the witness emphasizes, but breaking free, Holly shot her.
Face, side, thigh.
The witness saw Carlos holding Romeca for a split second as she fell. A gush of blood. No pressure applied to the wounds. No attempt to save her life. And then, this is the part that makes your stomach turn. Carlos and Holly fist bumped. They told police it was self-defense. Now fast forward 18 days. Carlos reactivates his Facebook. September 26th, 2025. His son's birthday week. 5:36 a.m. Ain't nobody posting no good sure up. Everything negative. 7:15 a.m. I did everything for you. I ain't even brag about it or want the credit. Your mom no. He posts pictures of himself with his son on the boy's birthday. The child who no longer has a mother. 9:15 a.m. Stalker is crazy to me. I didn't know her number or address. Then he drops this bomb, says he went to Romeca's job on August 20th and told her boss on her because she was supposed to be on the clock. I loved her, but she used to be on my A. Think about that timeline. August 20th, he's at her workplace causing problems. September 8th, she's dead. 9:44 a.m. Who TF is this you've been posting every day? Your page is for content. Your page was dry as hell. You making money, give that money to Tina McMiller or to my son. B, you doing too much posting address and numbers. I'm gonna find out who you are. 9:56 a.m. Y'all ain't let me grieve or nothing. I hate all you beat. 10:02 a.m. Y'all goofy ass making cartoons and AI videos, this shit ain't no fuck entertainment. Y'all keep that same energy. The comments section becomes a battlefield. Romeca's cousin Jalicia shows up. You created this, she writes. These women wouldn't know each other if it wasn't for you. This man hasn't posted since February 10th. That means he either deleted everything between then and now, or he's been radio silent since around the time he announced his new son's birth with Holly. Baby Carson, born February 20th, 2025. Less than 7 months before Romeca died. The cousin keeps pushing. We know the truth. Stop trying to justify why my cousin is gone. Carlos's response? R.I.P. Romeca. Love you for life. You know the love I had for you no matter what.
Love.
That word sits heavy when you remember what the witness saw. When you remember him holding her for a split second as bullets tore through her body. When you remember the fist bump. But here's what makes this even worse. On the day of Romeca's funeral, the day her family was laying her to rest, someone released unfavorable videos of Romeca. Videos showing her in moments of anger, of frustration. 8 seconds of a woman's worst moments, captured and released to justify her execution. Character assassination of a woman who can't defend herself. Who can't explain the context. Who can't tell us about years of manipulation, of being played against another woman, of trying to co-parent with someone who, according to witnesses, would coordinate her murder. The videos came from somewhere. Carlos's associate has been releasing them, claiming he hasn't talked to Carlos in 5 years. So where'd he get them? Who's orchestrating this narrative that Romeca deserved what happened to her? Meanwhile, Khadijah Holly Johnson walked free that same day. Released without charges despite multiple witnesses, despite announcing her intent to shoot, despite Romeca being unarmed. Her concealed carry license? Still valid. The Illinois State Police haven't revoked it. She can still legally carry the weapon she used to kill an unarmed mother. The state's attorney's office claims insufficient evidence to charge. Insufficient. Multiple witnesses. An unarmed victim. A shooter who announced her intentions. But insufficient. Some say it's because Holly had a restraining order against Romeca. But think about this. If Holly feared Romeca so much, why was she at the school where Romeca drops her child? Why didn't she leave when she saw Romeca's car? Why did she run toward the confrontation instead of away? The family's not giving up. Jalicia wrote a letter to state's attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke demanding a reinvestigation. The location, the timing, the coordination, it all suggests premeditation.
Romeca's cousin writes, Dear State's Attorney O'Neill Burke, I'm writing to urgently request a comprehensive reinvestigation and charging review of the homicide of Romeca Meeks, who was fatally shot on September 8th, 2025, outside her child's school. The shooter, Holly Johnson, also known as Quadasia Johnson, was released the same day of the homicide after claiming self-defense as a concealed carry license holder. The same day release occurred despite serious evidence that this was a premeditated, coordinated act of violence orchestrated by Johnson and her boyfriend, Carlos Way, the victim's child's father. Johnson's self-defense claim is directly contradicted by physical evidence, eyewitness testimony, and the sequence of events leading up to the shooting. Jalissa goes on to give some key facts requiring immediate review. Number 1, the shooting in a school zone with children present. She alleges that the shooting occurred directly outside the victim's child's school during school hours. Next, she says the victim's child was not present. Other children were arriving late to school because the school day starts at 8:30. She says the shooting occurred at approximately 9:06 a.m., meaning there were children and families still outside or near the school entrance. Holly Johnson has no school-age children, raising serious questions about her presence at the location during the school drop-off hours. She says that there's a need for a complete timeline reconstruction to fully understand the deliberate planning and sequence of events, and the family is requesting that the Office of the Attorney create a precise timeline of every action by Holly Johnson, Carlos Way, and others between 8 a.m. and the moment of the shooting at 9:06 a.m. This should include video footage, phone calls, text messages, and witness accounts showing their movements and interaction minute by minute. She says that Carlos drove Johnson to the school despite knowing tensions were high, deliberately creating an encounter with the victim. She also says if Johnson truly feared for her safety, she had time to flee the scene or call 911. Instead, she chose to run and retrieve a gun, proving intent to escalate rather than avoid violence. She also goes on to give a list of applicable charges, specific investigative actions required.
This was an execution. The witness testimony keeps coming in. 3 separate witnesses, all saying versions of the same story. None of them saw the beginning, but all saw Carlos restraining Romeca while Holly retrieved her gun. All heard the threats. All saw an unarmed woman die. But Carlos is back on Facebook, posting pictures with his son, claiming he's grieving too. I'm mourning and grieving too, he writes when challenged. Are you? Because mourning doesn't usually involve fist bumps with the killer. Grieving doesn't typically include releasing attack videos on the day of the funeral. Love doesn't look like holding someone still while someone else shoots them in the face. The boy just turned 7. No mother at his party. His father posting on Facebook while the woman who killed his mother walks free with her gun license intact. And somewhere in Chicago, Holly Johnson is probably scrolling through these same posts, maybe even reading these comments, knowing she got away with it for now. Because here's what people like Carlos don't understand about social media. Every post is evidence. Every comment is testimony. Every timestamp tells a story. You can delete posts, but screenshots are forever. You can claim innocence, but the internet doesn't forget. September 26, 2025, 18 days after Romeca died. Carlos thought it was safe to come back online. Thought enough time had passed. Thought he could control the narrative with birthday posts and claims of grief. But the comments tell a different story. The witnesses are speaking up. The family's not backing down. And every day more people are asking the question that should haunt Carlos and Holly for the rest of their lives. How do you explain to a 7-year-old boy that daddy helped kill mommy? You want to know what kind of man Carlos is? Look at his 9:15 a.m. post. He admits going to Romeca's workplace to get her in trouble with her boss. This is the mother of his child, working 2 jobs, studying to be a nurse, trying to build a better life. And he's there trying to take away her livelihood. That's not love. That's control. That's abuse. That's the behavior of someone who'd coordinate a murder and call it self-defense. The state's attorney needs to answer some questions too. How many witnesses does it take? How much evidence is enough? If this isn't sufficient for charges, what is? Are we saying it's legal in Chicago to announce you're going to shoot someone, have your boyfriend hold them still, execute them, and walk free the same day? Because that's the precedent being set here. That's the message being sent. That if you play your cards right, if you create enough paper trail with restraining orders, if you claim self-defense loud enough, you can get away with murder. Romeca's last social media post was a note to her son in his lunchbox. Carlos's recent posts are denials and deflections. One parent planning for their child's day, the other trying to rewrite history. The family's requesting specific investigative actions. Phone records, text messages, security footage, financial records, because there might be more to this story than just a love triangle. They want to know who benefited from Romeca's death, who had policies on her life, who gains custody, who profits from her absence. Every single day that passes without charges is another day of injustice. Another day Holly Johnson carries her gun with a valid license. Another day Carlos posts on Facebook playing victim. Another day a 7-year-old boy grows up without his mother. But here's what gives me hope. The witnesses aren't staying quiet. The family isn't giving up. The internet isn't forgetting. Every share of this story, every comment demanding justice, every person who refuses to let Romeca become just another statistic, you're all part of holding the system accountable. Carlos thought he could come back to social media and control the narrative. Holly thought claiming self-defense was enough. The state's attorney thought this case would just go away. They're all wrong. Because Romeca Meeks was more than just another victim. She was a mother who wrote lunch notes, a healthcare worker who cared for the elderly, a student working toward her dreams, a woman who deserved to see her son turn 7, 8, 18, 28. She deserved to live. And her son deserves to know that people fought for justice for his mother. That strangers on the internet cared more about the truth than the people who were supposed to protect her. That even when the system failed, the people didn't. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Carlos can post all the birthday pictures he wants. Holly can hide behind her concealed carry license. The state's attorney can claim insufficient evidence. But the truth has a way of surfacing. Justice has a way of finding daylight. And the internet? The internet never forgets. To everyone watching, here's what you can do. Share this video on every platform. Tag the Chicago Police Department. Tag State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke. Use the hashtag #JusticeForRomeca. Make noise. Make it impossible to ignore. Because if we don't demand justice for Romeca Meeks, if we let this slide, then we're saying it's acceptable. We're saying coordinate a murder, claim self-defense, walk free. We're saying mothers are disposable. We're saying the system works when it clearly doesn't. Thank you for watching True Crime Unraveled. We see every comment. We read every message. We're not going anywhere until there's justice for Romeca.
Keep the pressure on. Keep sharing.
Keep demanding answers. Because somewhere in Chicago tonight, a 7-year-old boy is going to bed without his mother. And the people responsible are sleeping just fine. For now. But morning always comes. Truth always surfaces. And justice, even when delayed, has a way of arriving exactly when it should. This is True Crime Unraveled. And this story is far from over.